It was the year 2063, and the world had just come out of a golden era of peace and technological advancement. Space exploration had reached its peak, with human colonies established on Mars and the Moon, while automated drones ventured to even farther reaches of the solar system. But one day, all communication with the colonies abruptly ceased. No warning, no signals, just silence. At first, scientists and engineers speculated it was a technical failure, but soon the Moon's colony went dark. Then Mars. Every effort to re-establish contact was met with an eerie, static-filled silence. Dread spread across Earth. Space telescopes soon revealed a grim sight. A massive alien structure the size of a city was hovering near Mars. Whatever it wasn't human and it wasn't friendly. The silence was the prelude to something much worse. Chapter 2. The First Wave. Within days of the discovery, the alien structure began moving directly toward Earth. Panic set in as governments around the world scrambled to prepare defenses. Every satellite, every space defense system was put on high alert, but Earth's first encounter with the alien invaders would not come in the form of a fleet or an armada, but in a way no one could have anticipated. As the alien vessel approached Earth's atmosphere, millions of tiny pods were released. They fell like silent raindrops across the globe, landing in remote areas, deep oceans, and hidden forests. These pods were the first wave of the invasion. From them emerged the Hive, a species unlike anything Earth had ever encountered. They were insectoid creatures, swarming in millions, but not mindless. They operated as one, connected through a vast telepathic network to a single controlling intelligence, the Queen. Their strategy was terrifyingly effective: move quickly, silently, and overwhelm. Within hours, rural towns and isolated areas were completely overrun. Cities weren't attacked directly. The Hive didn't want a battle. They wanted to absorb, assimilate, and spread without drawing attention. By the time governments realized what was happening, hive nests had sprouted in over 40 countries. Chapter 3. The Queen's Call. Dr. Alexis March, a leading xenobiologist, was one of the first to understand what the hive was. She studied the fallen pods and discovered that the hive had a unique biological weapon. Those they captured were not killed. Instead, they were transformed. Their bodies became hosts for new hive creatures, their minds erased and replaced by the hive's telepathic network. But Dr. March uncovered something even more terrifying. The hive was not an invading army, but a colony. They were here to terraform Earth into a breeding ground, converting the planet's atmosphere into something uninhabitable for humans. At the heart of their operation was the Queen, a massive sentient being who controlled every hive creature with her telepathic reach. If the Queen wasn't stopped, Earth would be converted into a hive planet, with humanity becoming nothing more than breeding stock for the aliens. Chapter 4. The Resistance. Governments formed a coalition, uniting the most advanced militaries in the world, but traditional warfare proved ineffective. The hive adapted quickly, their swarms growing stronger with each wave. Bullets and bombs were little more than minor inconveniences for a species that evolved with each encounter. Entire countries were soon overrun, with hive nests now acting as strongholds across the globe. That's when the Resistance was born. A rogue group of scientists, soldiers, and hackers working off the grid. Led by Dr. March and former Navy SEAL Captain Mercer, they formulated a radical plan to take the fight directly to the Hive Queen. The only problem? She was protected by an impenetrable barrier deep within the massive alien ship that hovered over Earth, now known as the Hive Nest. Dr. March had a solution. By developing a prototype neural disruptor, she believed they could sever the Queen's connection to the hive, effectively neutralizing her control over the swarm. But to deploy the disruptor, someone would have to infiltrate the hive nest, reach the Queen, and detonate the device at its core. The Resistance gathered the best and bravest for the mission, including Captain Mercer, a cybernetic engineer named Zane, and Elena Navarro, a former intelligence officer with a history of Black Ops missions. Using cloaked ships to evade the Hive's defenses, they landed near the Hive Nest and began their infiltration. The inside of the nest was a labyrinth of alien tunnels, pulsing with organic matter and strange energy. Hive drones patrolled every corner, constantly searching for intruders. As the team moved deeper into the nest, they discovered the horrifying truth. Human prisoners were being turned into Hive creatures in massive biofactories. The Queen was converting Earth's population faster than anyone had imagined. With time running out, the team fought their way through waves of Hive soldiers, using stealth and brute force to reach the inner sanctum where the Queen resided. Chapter 6. The Final Stand. The Queen was colossal, her body rooted deep within the Hive Nest, pulsating with energy as she communicated with her vast swarm. The closer the team got, the more they felt the Hive's telepathic influence creeping into their minds, trying to bend them to her will. Captain Mercer led the final assault, pushing through despite the overwhelming odds. But just as they reached the Queen's chamber, Zane was captured by the Hive and began transforming before their eyes, his mind becoming part of the collective. With no time to mourn, the team pressed on. Dr. March activated the neural disruptor, planting it at the base of the Queen. As the Hive swarmed in to protect their leader, Captain Mercer made the ultimate sacrifice, holding the line to buy time for the disruptor to detonate. In a flash of light, the disruptor sent a pulse through the Queen's telepathic network, severing her connection to the Hive. Without her control, the Hive drones went dormant, collapsing to the ground as the Queen let out a final, deafening shriek before disintegrating. Chapter 7. The Aftermath. Earth was saved, but at a tremendous cost. Millions had been lost, and the planet was left scarred by the Hive's invasion. Though the Queen was dead and her Hive defeated, humanity remained on edge, knowing that other alien threats might still exist beyond the stars. Dr. March became a global hero, and Captain Mercer's name was etched into history as the man who gave his life for the survival of the species. Yet as the world began to rebuild, strange signals started appearing on Earth's satellites, disturbances that echoed the early signs of the Hive's arrival. The silence had returned once more.